Supporters of Cameroon's main opposition party, SDF, stormed the streets of Douala. They are campaigning for the country's local and parliamentary elections scheduled for Sunday. SDF is seeking to challenge the party of Cameroon's 86-year-old president, Paul Biya. Biya has ruled the country for 37 years. The opposition have often accused his party of electoral fraud.
We have all the mechanism to pin any fraudulent activity during these elections down. We have taken all the necessary measures, and so we know what to do. There will be no room for anything like fraud, because people are tired. We know the fraud machinery or mechanism has been put in place even during the registration.
60 kilometers away in the Anglophone city of Buea, the main concern is security. This rally, organized by the ruling party, is heavily guarded by soldiers. Political parties have been provided with soldiers to enable them campaign in the region. Anglophone separatist militias have been fighting to create an independent state from the rest of the country. They have warned voters and candidates against taking part in the polls.
We are a bit worried. One cannot pretend that we cannot be boasting that we are not worried. But we are thankful for the measures that the head of state has put in place to guarantee Cameroonians of their security before, during, and after these elections. So the fear element should be completely set aside.
But not everyone is optimistic. Opposition leader Maurice Kamto has boycotted the vote. He was runner-up in the 2018 presidential election. He wants better policies for the country and the Anglophones.
After debate, we came to a conclusion. We said to ourselves, but how can we say that we are against the war and take part in the elections while the war continues? And that precisely these populations which are immersed in the war won't be able to take part in the elections.
Those voted in these elections will be responsible in defining the country's policies for the next 5 years. This will include finding a solution for the Anglophone regions.
And I'm joined now by Paul Simon Handy of the Institute of Security Studies. Welcome to DW News Africa, Paul. The main opposition isn't going to be taking part in these elections, and all indication is that the turnout will be low in the English-speaking areas of the country. Is this vote credible?
The question can be asked. I think the vote will probably be credible in most in the major cities, in most parts of the country, actually. But the question should be asked particularly for the Anglophone regions, where, if comparison can be allowed, for the presidential elections, turnout was pretty low, and all signs indicate that it will be the case, given the very volatile security situations in most areas of the Anglophone region. But just to come back, most opposition parties are taking place. The only party that is not taking place is the party of the opposition figure Maurice Kamto. But we have to say that this party hasn't been tested yet electorally. The candidate did very well at the presidential election, but they've never been really tested for legislative, particularly local elections.
Just going back to the separatist movement in the English-speaking regions, this started in 2017. There was legitimate cries at that time. We've seen this movement since being taken over, if you will, by the separatists who use violence, if we can add that. Are they the true representatives of people in the English-speaking part of the country who simply want to not be treated like second-class citizens in their own country?
Yeah, no, I think you're right in pointing the fact that the grievances that were raised 3 years ago when the crisis started were legitimate grievances that, in my opinion, the government didn't handle properly, and that's why the whole situation escalated to the point that we know today. But currently, I think the situation has deteriorated so much that it's extremely difficult to find people, legitimate political representatives of those who have taken up arms. It was obvious, for example, during the national dialogue that was organized late last year, in October, but those English-speaking Cameroonians who were present there did not really, could not speak for the separatists, for those who took up arms. And the question is, should be asked, who controls those, actually?
All right, Paul Simon Handy from the ISS, thank you.
Thanks.